Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today I got another Spinnaker watch for review, and this is a model I have reviewed before, but in a different variation. This is the Hull, but today specifically we're going to be talking about the Hull Commander Automatic, the Help for Heroes collaboration that Spinnaker and Help for Heroes has put together to help out some of our veterans, right? Alright, so I love projects like this. I like that Spinnaker does stuff like this, and I think that it's not only a way to kind of like, I guess, get their name out there more, but it's, I don't know how much they actually make off these watches and how much of these proceeds. It says 5% of the net sales. I don't know how much will actually go towards Help for Heroes. I'm not privy to that information, but hey, every little bit helps, and it's a thought that counts. And I think it's great to do collaborations like this. There's lots of veterans in this country, and I think that I've said, this is not to get on a tangent, but I feel like that there should be more help for veterans, and there is a lot of help, don't get me wrong, but more help for veterans and our elderly. That's like my two groups of people that I think deserve the most assistance, right? Our elderly and our heroes, right? And so I like collaborations like this. Now, again, the Hull is one of my favorite watches by Spinnaker, and I'm laughing because I say that with almost every watch I review. You guys know I've mentioned the Dumas watch. It is one of my favorite Spinnakers, but I have to say this is up there, if not, it's a close second, right? And the reason I like this is because it reminds me of a Panerai. And so I have said many times I would never spend the money on a Panerai or any luxury brand for that matter. The word luxury to me is just, it's meaningless. It has nothing to do with quality. Not saying that those aren't beautiful watches, but I can never rationalize $10,000 for a watch when you get a watch like this for $375 plus my coupon. Be sure to use that, link in description. It's just, they give you too much bang for your buck. You have to kind of wonder, anybody with the critical thinking skills has to wonder, what are you actually paying for? What is a $10,000, $20,000 watch getting you that you're not getting with this? A little more attention to detail under macro lens? I mean, it's just, to me, it's a waste of money. But remember, watch collecting and spending money, this is all subjective stuff. Whatever I may like doesn't necessarily mean that's right for you, right? And so ultimately, people should always keep their mouths shut if you don't have nothing nice to say, but buy what makes them happy, I personally, the only reason I see in my heart and in my mind on why I would ever want to wear a luxury brand is just so when people see it on my wrist, they will know that I spent that much money on it. It's the price of a car, right? To me, that's the only, it's like bragging, and I'm just not really one of those kinds of guys, right? I just feel like there's way too many affordable options out there that get you amazing bang for your buck. And I'm not going to go off on a tangent like I normally do about the watch snobs and the fake news and the misinformation you get all over YouTube by these watch reviewers that ultimately are stating quality differences that just really aren't true, right? You'll see a guy review a Spinnaker and talk about how great it is, right? Spinnaker bolder, and then they'll talk about how crummy Invicta is, and vice versa. They'll knock brands they just don't like when really the quality is just there across many brands. Are there differences in quality? Absolutely. And I like to mention quality kind of like it's not kind of like a curve, right? There is a curve in quality, but the watch snob and a lot of YouTubers out there want you to believe that luxury brands are up here and watches like this are down here, and you have to spend that in order to get that level. And the realistically, the truth of the matter is luxury brands are up here and watches like this are like here. There's not a lot of difference in quality. Anybody who really says that is frankly just, there's some kind of motivation behind why they're doing that. It's either because they don't want to look foolish that they spent that much money, they don't want to admit to the reason they spent that much money on a watch is for bragging rights, is for recognition from other people. A lot of people don't want to admit that. So again, always buy what makes you happy. But a watch like this, if you add this to your collection, you're going to be impressed. And what I really like lately, I see, the YouTube algorithm is just, it's all over the place. Like, I mean, it's unfortunate that a lot of brands, luckily Spinnaker is a brand that I think is pretty well respected. They've done a great job in how that they've presented the brand. They don't go crazy with the pricing, although the pricing, they do have sales like everybody else, but they didn't do the giant, huge MSRP and like the 75% off sale that hurts other brands, right? So Spinnaker is great. It's a watch that I said that you should never care what people think. You should always wear what makes you happy, but I know that not everybody's like that. And I know that some folks are going to want to buy a watch that, if somebody recognizes the name, they're gonna give them respect for it, right? Which really fucking shouldn't matter, but that's life, right? And there's nothing wrong. People, I'm not like that, but people are, and this is a great option for you because nobody's gonna knock the Spinnaker brand. I mean, I just don't see it. It's a great brand, and they make a high quality product. So, all right, getting back to this again. Looks like a Panerai, a little bit similar style. Kind of has that kind of a squarish, rounded case. You know, I think they could have taken a little bit further with this and put on kind of a crown protector that's more similar to Panerai, but I don't think they were necessarily going to make a homage or a copy of a Panerai. They just kind of took some design aspects and kind of did their own thing with it. I love this watch. I think it's a fantastic watch. We have the 5-link bracelet on it with mirror polishing, what I'm going to call like beads of rice or grains of rice down, you know, the 3 middle links. That's probably not right in saying that, but that's what it kind of reminds me of, kind of like the Doxa bracelets. Very cool. Definitely dig it. I like that it's not just a standard 3-link bracelet, although I have many of those. I don't discriminate. They're great too. We have a milled clasp, friction push pins, 3/16 stainless steel, threaded case back, beautiful bezel on it, and I like the bezel on this because they've done kind of like a red, white, and blue on a few of the markers. Probably using the wrong terminology there, but we get that red, white, and blue, and they have that stainless steel bezel insert with kind of like a, I don't know if this is plastic, feels like a plastic around the edge of the bezel. So a little bit different than your standard bezel. Totally dig it. I like that that brushed stainless steel on the inside. I believe it's stainless steel. It might be a brushed aluminum. It's really hard to tell, but it's just a great looking piece. I like the fact they did put some crown protectors on it, help to protect that crown. Although let's face it, you know, I've never really damaged any watch, but it's a great piece. So let's read about what they state about, and this one is the Valiant Blue. I think this is available in a couple different color options, but don't quote me on that. So this is limited edition to 4. I'm going to throw this on the wrist here. This is great. Check this out. Let me just get this out of the way for a second there. Check that bad boy out. Ooh, I gotta get in a little bit on this. Check that out. All right, so let me just read you what they state. So this is, you know, Spinnaker and all the Dartmouth models and brands. They generally do some kind of like collaboration, whether that's with inspiration from like a satellite or something in space, or you know, a car. I like that they kind of tie things together, and I think when you do that, you kind of like build bridges between you know, folks who maybe are really into cars and they pick up a Cadola or something like that, or really into space and they pick up a Nubeo. You know, so this, you might attract some veterans or, you know, folks who, you know, have somebody in their family who served. It's a cool collaboration. So just says, Spinnaker is proud to announce the launch of their latest collaboration with the esteemed Help for Heroes organization, the Hall Commander Automatic Help for Heroes Limited Edition. 400 piece limited. The timepiece is a testament to the bravery and dedication of the British servicemen and women, a symbol of support and gratitude. 5% of net sales from each watch will be donated directly to Help for Heroes, directly to the Help for Heroes organization, aiding their mission to provide lifelong support for the armed forces community. Damn. I should just re-record this, but this is how I record, so down to earth, right? It does come with an extra strap, which appears to be like a silicone strap, and I'm going to bust open the box in a second here. Specification, so we have that time-tested Japanese NH35 Seiko movement. We do have 3/16 stainless steel on the case and the bracelet, 42mm case diameter, nice wearable size for really anybody on earth, 14mm case thickness, has a nice tall wrist presence. I say tall loosely because I don't really think this is tall, but for many folks, you know, with the sensitive wrists, you know, this has got nice presence, right? We do have a sapphire lens anti-reflective coating. One of the check boxes I think a lot of folks are looking for in a watch. I mentioned many times check boxes. So for me, check boxes is number one, do I like the watch? Is it something I want to wear? Absolutely, right? Number two, what is it made out of? Is it 3/16 stainless steel? Is it just some alloy? If it's 3/16 stainless steel, that is the number one, sort of number one. If we're talking about specifications, you know, number one should always be if you like the watch, right? You should never buy it for somebody else's approval, right? But, you know, if it's 3/16 stainless steel, then I'm pretty much sold. After that, we come down to what is it, an automatic or a quartz? For me, I always gravitate more towards automatics. If so, if it is an automatic, what kind of automatic? The NH35, anybody who gets an NH35 watch, I mean, it's a affordable, very reliable, awesome, well-respected movement. You're not going to have any problems with this, right? For the most part. You can have good and bad luck with anything, but it's a time-tested, respectable movement. After that, that's kind of where my check boxes stop, right? I mean, for me, I don't really care if it has a, I don't really care about the loom, and I feel like a lot of people, they're like, oh, what kind of loom? Like, a lot of people shop for specs. It's like, do you even need the loom? Like, most of the time we look at our phone. I can't tell you the number of times people ask me, hey, do you have the time? And mainly they're asking me, I think, a lot of times because they just want to see, they notice my watch and they just want to see the watch. And they don't want to say, hey, can I see the watch? So they'll say, hey, what time is it? And I usually pull out my phone. It's just kind of force a habit. Loom doesn't really matter much to me. Next to that, I know a lot of folks, this is going to be said for folks shopping for watches, what kind of bezel, how's the bezel feel? This is super tight, no back play, solid. I mean, you can compare this to any, $100,000 AP. I mean, there's not going to be any insane difference where you're like, oh my God, that's worth the price. It's just ridiculous. It does come with that blue rubber strap, 50 millimeter lug to lug, 300 meters of water resistance, and 22 millimeter bracelet. So if you didn't want to change this out, get a leather one, whatever, you can very easily find those. That's really about it. Let me show you guys the box. So kind of cool. They did the, kind of a limited box in this. Sometimes, I never get too, it's a box, right? But, I know some folks who collect like me, they are concerned with the box. They display these. So you do have the Help for Heroes box. We crack it open, standard cardboard like you're going to find on anything. I do like, kind of the color combination. You got that aqua, that maroon, and like a real deep navy blue. Spinnaker logo on front. And of course, crack it open. We have a little bit of little information about the Help for Heroes. You do get a couple extra push pins for your blue rubber strap that you get, again with that navy blue, turquoise, or baby blue almost, and then like a red. So kind of fun, kind of colorful. That's about it, Sorry, I showed you guys that. So, and the box for me usually ends up going in storage. The only time I ever crack out the box if I left a bracelet in there or something like that. So, nothing, whatever. The box is really for somebody who's going to be, I think, gifting a watch, and it's nice to get something and be like, oh, this is brand new. You spent money on this. So, but that's really about it. Spinnaker's always coming out with different variations of models and new collaborations. So I encourage you to click my link in the description and bookmark that to go back there. These things are always going on sale now that we're in November. It's a great time to start shopping, not just for your loved ones, but for yourself. So, pretty cool. They do have a picture of a guy, looks like he's kind of in a wetsuit of some sort wearing this, and I tell you, by the picture, it looks fantastic. It's just a great looking piece, and I think anybody adds this to their collection is going to be very happy. And there's so many watches out there. I mean, there's really something for everyone. Again, a piece like this, you're going to get the same spiel when you see me reviewing watches on this channel, because in all honesty, they're all fantastic. Now, I'm about 5'8". I weigh about 175 pounds and have a 7-inch wrist. So this is what it's going to look like on a guy my size, my height, my weight. Give you guys kind of an idea of what this watch might look like on you. Again, a 42 millimeter watch. I mean, I don't think you really need to overthink this too much. It's not a huge watch. It's not a small watch. I think, when you start comparing it to, this is, I don't know what this is, like 39 maybe. But this is very, very feminine, This is a very small watch, and by all means, nothing wrong with it. Wear what makes you happy. But, I think that for a man, and ladies can rock this too. It's not, it is unisex. 42 is a good all-around size. It has a nice wrist presence. It's noticeable. It looks great. And, it doesn't look like you're wearing your little sister's watch or something. So, great piece. Again, totally digging that bezel insert, the stainless steel or aluminum, whatever it is. It just has kind of a very nice industrial look. So very cool. I want to thank Spinnaker as always for the generosity and collaborating on a long-term basis with Fat Cat Collections. It is awesome to be able to get watches and share them with you guys and help build their brand. They make such a great product. No matter what brand you go with by Dartmouth, Spinnaker, AVI8, Nuveo, what else we got? RGMT. They're all great quality watches. The only difference is just really, the styling. So check them all out. Again, links in the description. I just want to also mention that they do have a sort of a Christmas sale going on now, and they do have another watch I'm going to get my hands on. This is another hull, but this one here is called the Braveheart, and I really dig this one. It's got a very unique baby blue, almost turquoise and white face and bezel. It's a real looker, and it says, I don't know, Spinnaker sometimes, I don't know who they sell these to, because I'll go to their site and everything's always sold out, but a lot of times I get my hands on it. But I hope I can get my hands on this. This is, again, another collaboration. It says here it's already sold out, so I hope I can get one. But this is, it looks like it's a watch to celebrate the 500th episode milestone and launching the revered occasion of St. Andrew's Day. So I guess this is kind of a tribute. It says it's called the Braveheart. So check that out as well. When you go, click my link in the description and look for this watch. You'll also see this variation. It's a great looking piece, and this is just what excites me about Spinnaker. I'm always going to their site and looking, because these things, their watches sell out fast. And I mean, I can't even like put up a video before the watch is sold out a lot of times. So act fast, check it out. Right now there's the Christmas sale, 25% off. Try to use my coupon code on top of that. You might be able to. It depends on what you're buying. But if I can help you guys in any way, by all means, drop me a comment or drop me an email. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Every YouTuber out there tells you to subscribe. Subscribe. I know you're going to, but if you subscribe, or when you subscribe, I should say, click the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video. I cannot tell you one consistent comment I get on the channel is, hey, haven't seen you for a while. I upload every single week, minimum one time a week on Saturdays. So you'll always get the videos in between, sometimes on Sundays, sometimes on holidays, but it's every week, and you're always going to find new and exciting products on Fat Cat Collections. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and take care.